Look, I fully understand that in theory, Kirby Doc was traded for the 13th overall pick to the Chicago Blackhawks, which, again, Frank Nazar, look, he was cut from the World Junior squad in the summer there, didn't make it, but by all intents and measures, I understand all the people who are going to be screaming at me saying, you cannot call this trade a fleece before Nazar has ever played a game in the National Hockey League. I understand that. I get it, okay, yes. But by all intents and purposes, for me, the trade is a fleece, not because of that 13th overall pick, but because how did they get that 13th overall pick? They traded Alexander Romanov for it to the New York Islanders. They got it from them. So in theory, this trade is basically Romanov for Kirby Doc, 1-for-1, a la Taylor Hall for Adam Larson, right? And look, I'm not saying that Kirby Doc is Taylor Hall. What I'm saying is to turn Romanov into Kirby Doc. I said it when the trade happened. One of my most viewed videos, I think it has over 50,000 views, me talking about Kirby Doc being an absolute steal for the Habs the day after the draft. Everybody calling me crazy, saying, dude, what do you mean? This guy's got terrible numbers. He's got Jesperi Kotkaniemi-like numbers. He's a bust. What are you talking about? But now, dude, now do you see what I mean? Now that you've seen him play, do you see what I mean? It's not about the point totals, okay? Look at the environment, the soul-sucking environment he played in Chicago with the controversies, the Kyle Beach stuff, with the guys like Taves and Kane being super negative, saying, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. Guys like DeBrincat getting traded out of there. Lots of really great players leaving every single year. Like, that was not a good environment. He didn't have a great place to thrive as a player, okay? And I understand that, he did have a chance to step up and be the cornerstone piece of that team going forward, but he had injuries. There was the bubble situation. Like, there was so much stuff that went on there. And now, finally, Kirby Doc gets to show why this trade is a fleece. Why Ken Hughes stuck his neck out to grab this guy out of nowhere at the draft in Montreal and had no fear in announcing this trade in front of everybody. Everybody, in terms of the Montreal crowd, was there at the draft. He had no fear to say, hey, guess what, Montreal fans? Kirby Doc is a Montreal Canadian, and he's reaping the rewards for it right now. This guy is skilled, all right? He's big, he's strong, he's smart. Like, look, he may not be the hardest worker in the world. He doesn't need to be. Like, he's got the skill, he's got the strength, he's got the hockey sense that he can really produce at a top 6 pace, a top 6 level, and I'm sorry. Love Romanov all you want. I really liked Romanov as a Montreal Canadian. Lots of big open ice hits, and he was a good serviceable defenseman. He's a 3 or a 4 on a good team. That's what Romanov is. He's a second pairing defenseman, whereas Kirby Doc is a legit top 6 centerman or winger in the making who can produce, as you can see now, I'm sure, 12 points in 14 games, almost halfway there to his point total from last year that it took him 70 games to get to. Trust me, give him the right line mates, which right now, playing with Caulfield and Suzuki and getting power play time, I mean, Kirby Doc is killing it right now, and I love it. I love every time I see Kirby Doc get a point, because to me, it's like, yes, because I came out and I stuck my neck out in the summer. I said this is an absolute steal, and I'm telling you, it's a fleece here, okay? And look, I'm not saying that Chicago necessarily lost the trade. I'm not saying New York Islanders necessarily lost the trade. I'm just saying it's a pure Chris Angel magic trick to turn, whether it's the 13th overall or Alexander Romanov, for a young center in his early 20s like this with this much upside. And again, I'm seeing it on Twitter lately. People are like, you do not trade centermen who are in their early 20s with this much upside. You don't do it, okay? You don't do it. Maybe if it's an offer sheet situation like Kotkaniemi, but even that one, like, the writing was on the wall for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, where you could see that it was like, ooh, this guy really looks like a third liner at best, maybe second liner if he absolutely caps out. Whereas Kirby Doc, the flashes were there. If you watched Chicago in the bubble against Edmonton, he looked amazing, okay? And even his whole rookie season, he looked great. So to me, that was the flashes that Kirby Doc really showed, like, okay, he can produce in the NHL, where unfortunately, Kotkaniemi never really showed that, okay? He always struggled to find his footing. He was always at best treading water with the Montreal Canadiens, whereas Kirby Dach, now is the time. He's breaking out. I'm telling you, the kid is going to continue to break out this season. This is the year for Kirby Dach to really show what he is, which to me, I said it before, I think Suzuki's 1A and Dach is 1B. And hey, I didn't really anticipate him playing on the wing with Caulfield and Suzuki. If he does that, even better. If he can be a really productive winger, I love it. I projected it as a second line center, but if he can be a really productive winger on the top line or second line, that is amazing news for the Montreal Canadiens. But trust me, this is just going to keep turning into even more of a steal the more games that happen here. Dach is going to have a breakout season here. Just you watch. I love the skill. I love the smarts. Man, do the halves of a player here. Absolute fleece here. Okay, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.